I'm going to take a random McMaster part that comes in a box of 25. So here's the part number. It's the item type, which is hardware and supplies, and it's set to a box of 25 unit of measure. And the key thing is the conversion, which should be set to 25. And these two things go hand in hand. So now, once you have this set up, you look at the price. So when you say one quantity of one, the price should be set to the price of the box, not price of the each piece, because it does the math behind the scenes based on the conversion factor from here, and also the unit of measurement set of 25. We'll look at this one now. So it's in unit of measure set maintenance. These two, the code and the name, are just generic information. They have no calculatable value, just for our understanding and make it user friendly for people to know what they mean. And everything stays the same, and except for the purchase unit, which we know with McMaster we have to buy the box, and one box at a time. And the conversion here is 25. Every box that we receive, when it goes into inventory, it's going to break it down into 25 pieces of the screw or washer, whatever it is. So we can use it one at a time, whether you're coding it or when you're issuing it to a job. So here, this information is key. Now let's go look at the code that needs this part. So if we are coding it, here's the Gleason part number 1882560. I just picked this randomly and added this because the whole thing is in the sandbox, so it doesn't affect anybody, or just to explain what's going on. So if I open the McMaster part number, and you can see that I simply add number 8, because I'm assuming that it takes 8 pieces to make one unit of that part number. And you can see here quantity of 1 is, which is a box quantity, which is going to be at the $4.93. But when you say 8, it knows to not use 8 times 4.93, but to convert it by the unit of measure, which is 25, and this 4.93 is divided by 25, which gives you 19.7 cents, and times 8, it'll get you the $1.57 for the 8 pieces. And now let's go back to the router. Router does not carry any numbers, dollars, but it's the same format. You need 8 per, and unit of measure is set to a box of 25. And usually what happens is a code gets turned into a router, or router gets turned into a code. You'll be able to see the price when you're in code, but you won't see that cost of the screw or washer or anything. So now from the router or the code, we can turn it into a work order, which is what engineering does in our case. So they take a router and assign it to a sales order, and then turns it into a work order. So when we go to create a new work order, we just need, I'm just going to quickly create 1882560, and I'm going to make a quantity of 5 units, and because I don't have a sales order, I'm going to just click this one just to turn them off and go and create a internal work order for 5. And now the one we just created is one yeah 34120. Here's the work order with a quantity of 5. And now we uh, the next step would be, okay, it's already created and released, and I'm going to look for 34120, and that's the work order. And here is a screw that we are looking at. So it says 5 units, 8 times 5 is 40, so that's what it's saying. We need 40 pieces to finish this work order. So usually purchasing goes into this report, and they should be able to create a PO from right from here. So I'm just gonna pick this one, that, and then click on the send to primary supplier, and you can see it breaks down the details. Okay, you need 8 pieces to make one. Total quantity is 1.6. The reason for that is it's doing the math behind the scenes, because a box, you 8 times 5 is 40, and a box comes in 25, so 40 is 1.6 of that. And now when you click on OK, it will create a PO which is saying that you need a quantity of 2 of the boxes, because you cannot get 40 pieces, you have to buy 50 pieces, which turns into 2 boxes, and the cost of it for the fifth quantity of 2 is 4.93 times 2, which is what we saw in our item maintenance pricing tab. So now let's say the purchase order has been placed with McMaster, and the in our receiving we have the delivery, and now we're going to create a receiver as if we are in receiving. So before I go there, I just want to show you something. Just look at the on-hand inventory. We have 50, I'm sorry, we have 100 of them on hand. And now when you go to receive this PO that we just created, it says you're receiving 2 of the boxes that are on the PO. And now once you receive it and confirm it, it's confirmed. Now let's go back and look at the item. I'm just going to refresh it. You will see the number change to 150. So you received 2 boxes, and now the system knows that you have 50 pieces in your inventory that are added as soon as you receive the 2 boxes. So the whole thing kind of works in a way that when you are coding it, you don't have to do the math. You can simply add whatever it is, how many pieces you need to make that part, and then it will give you the cost accordingly. And if you're building a router, you don't need to know all you need to know is how many pieces. And when you're creating a PO, you don't need to know how to figure out what numbers to use. Especially that is a big problem now, because most of the times either this number is not set right or this is set to each, and the pricing is set to either a piece price when it's set to each of 25, or when it's set to each on the other side, we are setting it to 19 cents or something. So that's the reason why the numbers are not really working, or the conversions are not really working on the hardware. So main thing we need to remember is to make sure this is accurate, and this unit of measure set and the item is set properly along with the vendor unit of inversion conversion. So the whole combination of these 3 or 4 things will really make sure that we all can do what we need to do without having to worry about what happens on the next in the next stage. Thank you.